you find that the world is pierced through a sieve. Various time travelers, reborns, and raiders take turns occupying your body. They are like dogs, slightly praying for a look and love from the so-called heroines. Use your status as heir to a top conglomerate. Did all the stupid things. You shake your head and sigh. These people really can tell the difference between the big and the small kings. Instead of lowering yourself to being a bitch, why don't you just go up and train the dog? Looking at another time traveler being erased. You speak confidently and arrogantly. Do you dare to bet? Let me go back. Within 3 months, I can make all strategy targets fall. You sneered. 10 saviors carefully selected by you. I didn't even touch the corners of their clothes. After a brief crash, the system agreed. 48 hours. The first phase of the mission failed. You will be 10 times worse than them. Deal. After a burst of white light, you slowly open your eyes on the big bed. You come to the mirror. The boy in the mirror looks pale. I still have a certain time traveler on my wrist. For the scars of those ladies who cut their wrists. How annoying. That's how those guys treat their bodies. Young master, the owner of the house lets you. The butler's words haven't finished yet. A glass bottle filled with paper cranes exploded against his earphones. This is also a time traveler. In order to please those guys, I piled them up one after another. Of course, I didn't give it away in the end. Walking down the spiral staircase with glass fragments all over the floor. Chen Fu, who was reading financial reports in the restaurant, didn't even look up. He no longer wants to communicate too much with his suddenly disabled son. I heard you are going to drop out of my class. Morris College. The ultimate cradle of power and wealth in America. Those who walk out from here hold the lifeblood of the entire continent. Dropping out of school means being completely abandoned by the Chen family. Class C ranks last. Board resolution. Please help me get one last chance. I will get this position back in the monthly exam next month. The wife raised her eyes. The hand holding the newspaper shook. The person in front of me smells too familiar. His tone was a little tangled. Even if you have, please believe me one last time. If I fail, voluntarily give up all inheritance rights and shares. From now on, we have nothing to do with the Chen family. The wife's eyes were locked on the boy in front of her. Finally turned into a heavy sigh. Last month. Top sports cars parked at Morris College. You opened the car door, looking up at the huge school motto stone at the door. 3 years ago. You are the brightest star at Morris College. I personally wrote the school motto on this stone. Look who this is. Isn't it our young master Chen? A curly boy stepped forward. I poke you in the back with the tip of my pen maliciously. I heard you were shameless last week, breaking into Liu's dinner party. As a result, Sister Liu's bodyguard threw her into the swimming pool like garbage. How does it taste? Oh yes. I heard that you even touched Minister Shu's piano. As a result, they were thrown out together with the piano. The system sounds. Phase 1 tasks. Is the target person Shu Nianchu? Mood swing value reaches 50. Shu Nianchu. One of the 8 chaebols. Heir to the Shu family. The youngest music saint in the entire state A. Also a music madman. Mission accomplished in 47 hours and 59 minutes. A morning and evening flashed through your magic light. The scene room was thrown out. This is the raider you picked. They are really rubbish. But are you one of them? Not settled yet. Harsh laughter exploded all around. With a chuckle. But that smile hasn't reached my eyes yet. Snap. A heart-stopping sound. Let all the hustle and bustle die instantly. The curly-haired boy covered his face and widened his eyes in disbelief. The right cheek became red and swollen at a speed visible to the naked eye. You waved your hand. So ugly. It's like just lifting away a speck of dust. How dare you hit me? The man who was beaten was so angry that he was shaking all over. Do you think you are still the same Chen fan 3 years ago? You are now a waste abandoned by the Chen family. Garbage. He rushed forward with 5 claws. You turned slightly. The boy who missed the point lost his center of gravity. Fell to the ground in embarrassment. There was a gasp from the crowd of onlookers. Is this still the good-for-nothing Chen fan who is being ridiculed? You leaned down slightly, grabbing the collar of the boy on the ground, forcing him to raise his head. I wasted my precious 3 minutes. What are you going to give in return? Enough is enough. A sound as gentle as ice spring sounded without warning. Bai Ningbing stood a few steps away, with the indifferent temperament of a giant thousands of miles away. as Minister of Supervision of the Student Union. The Manhua fake painting badge on his chest looks even more cold. Mission target by Ningbing detected. Initial favorability is -70. His slender fingertips are flipping through your thick punishment records. You cross your arms. Her eyes wandered wildly on him. Ningbing feels your sharp penetrating gaze. The brows behind the lenses are undetectable. The 13th time disrupting campus order. The 5th violent conflict. He took out his pen and wrote it on the punishment notice. Sign your name neatly. Classmate Chen. According to school rules, the student union has the right to expel you. So selfless. Minister, not only were you not afraid, you took a step forward, with an almost provocative laziness. It landed precisely under his collarbone. The one you left behind. The place where there are shallow bite marks. Bai Ningbing's eyes darkened. Just about to raise your hand and throw it away. This shameless touch. A very aggressive, extremely cold blood pine aroma. Caught off guard, it penetrated his nasal cavity. His pupils suddenly contracted. This smell. It's a taste that's unique to you. The crowd of onlookers saw this. A greater commotion and exclamation broke out. Seems to see something. Incredible sight. Bai Ningbing suddenly came back to her senses and looked down. He was almost rough. Hold your wrist. I will press you hard against the cold golden school cup. His voice is dangerously low. Only 2 people can hear clearly. You don't deserve to wear this kind of perfume. Go back to your class said. Let me catch you again. I'll throw you out of the academy myself. Target by Ningbing. Favorability -80. Hear the mockery in the system's mechanical sound. You have no restlessness or anxiety at all. On the contrary, the lower his favorability, the more good news. It means he hates these. The time traveler who occupies his own body. The moment I stepped into the class said classroom, the air seemed to freeze for a moment. What happened at the school gate this morning? It has quickly spread to the ears of the whole school. The complicated looks around you come towards you. There is disgust, contempt, and inquiry. You turn a blind eye. Walk still to your corner position. What to pretend to be? He's just a loser who will be kicked out of school soon. Monitor Ji and Lily deliberately taunted loudly. She is one of the suitors of Li Wei, the curly-haired boy who was beaten in the morning. You are ugly. You stop and turn around slowly. Ji and Lily's back was instantly soaked with cold sweat. Not reconciled. How could I be frightened by this loser's look? Say it. He turned up the volume in an attempt to dispel the strange cold air. All day the toad wants to eat swan meat. Behind the back of those young ladies, you are wagging your tail and looking shameless. Looking like a clown in the eyes of others. A pen penetrated the wall behind him. Ji and Lily's voice stopped suddenly. Less than half an inch from her temple. Dead silence. You put your chin on one hand. The tip of the other finger is spinning another pen leisurely. Sorry. Slippery hand. No, it doesn't matter. Classmate Chen. The school bell rings. The interlude comes to an end. These classes are financial investment classes. The class was attended by an old professor who was over 60 years old. Now turn in your homework from last class. Just collect the homework as a routine. For students in Class C. The professor didn't have much hope. The people next to me handed over the reports one by one. The professor just glanced at it. What they wrote compared to Class SS. What a world of difference. This assignment was assigned to him by Chairman Chu. Intended to supplement the Chu family's C-state cross-border acquisition plan. But what I collected, it is far less good than the plan written by Chu Yoyu himself. Have to say, Chu Yu was the second genius he had seen in decades of working in the industry. Of course first, the professor glanced at the corner of the classroom. You are catching up on homework at short notice. The most financially gifted person he has ever seen in his life. It's you at 18 years old. Turn the Chen family from an empty shell that is about to decline. Led under the 8 major chaebols. The positions of the 4 major families. The acquisition report you wrote when you were 18. It is still widely studied in the industry. Just such a genius. Classmate Chen. Don't you plan to hand in the homework this time? You didn't look up. Complex financial data reporting at your fingertips. And quick movement on the shareholding structure chart. The stroke speed is amazingly fast. The professor treats you like this. The attitude of turning a blind eye makes me a little angry. Frowning, you walked off the stage. But when I come to you. But stopped. You put down your pen and push it gently with your fingertips. That report paper filled with complex symbols. Sliding in front of the professor. The professor looked down. Pupils suddenly tightened. The paper is densely packed. Derive formulas and arrows. Pointed accurately. The most hidden loopholes in mergers and acquisitions. One that even Chu Yu ignored. Deadly trap. And not only did you find, still using a red pen next to it, marked with a line of fine print. The losses to the Chu family will be immeasurable. The professor's hands trembled uncontrollably. He looked up suddenly. How could you? You raise your eyes lazily. Why, does the professor think there is something wrong with my hair knot? The temperature of the entire classroom dropped sharply. Everyone held their breath. Even Jiang Lily covered her mouth tightly. Don't dare to make a sound. What does this report mean? It means you only spent one class. Oh no, not even one class. Just break the Chu family's well-prepared merger and acquisition plan. The professor's face changed again and again. Carefully fold the paper. Hoarse voice. This report, I will personally give it to President Chu for review. You chuckled. As you wish. Student Union Office Assistant. Carefully put down the files you left behind. President Chu. This is the report from Class C to Class Y. Chu Yu didn't even raise his head. Focus on the financial model in front of you. Class C to Class Y. Just background noise. He assigned this question. It's because of the thread in my heart. The lingering sense of dissonance. But all reports tell him. Has worried too much. The giant wheel of the Chu family. We are sailing smoothly towards the Yuding Sea area. Until the professor broke into the office. The stability is broken. He even forgot the etiquette of knocking on the door. President Chu. The professor's voice had an imperceptible tremor. Please be sure to read this. Chu Yu paused with his slender fingers. Take that piece of paper. The moment my eyes touched the paper, the air seemed to freeze. The cruelly accurate deduction in the report. The wish-fulfilling dagger pierced the layout that he was proud of. Saiban Chen Fan. The professor's voice is delicate and delicate. Chu Yu was stunned for a moment. For this name. Of course he is not unfamiliar. 3 years ago. You sit where he is now. But suddenly overnight you seem to be a different person. Falling from the clouds into the mire. From the time he desperately chases the person he wants to surpass. Became the kind of person he hated most. This report. Have you been pretending to be dormant these past 3 years? The whole morning was spent in the superficial calmness of the undercurrent. The bell rings. A clerk with a student union badge on his chest. Under the breathless gaze of everyone. Step into Class Z classroom. Still walking towards the corner. Classmate Chen Fan. President Chu invites you to come to the president's office for a chat. You glanced at the visitor lightly. Tell Chu Yu that he wants to see me and come here by himself. That low-key, cold black car. Chen Bo, the chief butler of the Chen family in the car. Respectfully hand over the white towel. Young master, please remain silent. The owner of the house and Miss Chen Huang are waiting for you at the residence. Miss Chen Huang. She bites very clearly. Wipe your fingertips for a moment. Your person has been there for the past few years while you were away. The distant cousin who gradually takes your place. The whole family uses it to recruit people as oneself. The atmosphere in the hall is solemn. Father Chen is sitting on the throne. Several family directors sat on either side. Eyes with scrutiny and doubt. And the most striking thing is, yes. Pay attention to the figure beside Father Chen. Chen Huang, his eyes are calm and calm at this moment. Fall on you when you walk in. Back. Father Chen was the first to break the silence. The corner of your mouth was slightly raised, and you calmly glanced at everyone in the hall. According to the formation, they are waiting for me. There was a hint of helplessness and heaviness in Father Chen's eyes that was not easy to detect. According to the resolution of the board of directors, from now on, Chen Huang will temporarily handle all your rights and obligations within the family. As the head of the family, in the face of the overall interests of the family, personal emotions must also give way. Your 3 years of absurdity. It also caused him to lose too much right to speak. A month later, Chen Fu's voice was filled with unquestionable determination. If you fail to pass the Morris College monthly exam, among the top 3, Chen Huang will officially take over all affairs. Chen Huang also tried to speak. Reports on your recent disorderly conduct. Sent to the board of directors. You'll pay for the 1-month deadline I fought for you. The premise is that you can stay on your toes. There was dead silence in the hall. The directors exchanged glances. Chen Fu remained silent. You suddenly chuckled. There was no concealment of tact and contempt in his tone. Wait for now. I never like others to touch my things. Your eyes are like the sharpest blade. Straight into Chen Huang's deep eyes. This month, if you dare to touch the slightest, or some kind of trick behind my back, I will kill you with my own hands. The cold killing intent is like a cold current, sweeping the hall in an instant. My duty is to protect the interests of the Chen family. That's all. One day, mission achievement. 23 hours and 55 minutes. The cost of slacking off on tasks. A small punishment, accompanied by a subtle, the electric current that cannot be ignored. Instantly penetrates all limbs and sees. This is a warning from higher dimensions. Punishing oneself for the cost of carrying weapons. You scoffed. There is no difference in the eyes. Can't you help being angry? It seems that high-dimensional creatures, not without weaknesses. You ignored your physical discomfort. Enter Morris College with ease. Magnificent school gate. Classmate Chen Fan. A voice as gentle as snow-capped mountains. Sounds after itself. The noisy air around. Be quiet instantly. You take small steps and pause slightly. Turn around slowly. Chu Yu passed through. Automatically separate groups of people, coming towards you. A pure white college uniform. Penetrated by him. The sense of dignity of royal dress. Every gesture. True ancient nobility flows. Thousands of years of tolerance and oppression. You are cold-hearted. The system's view is quite vicious. President Chu is here. You raise your eyebrows slightly. Meet his pair. Unfathomable smoky purple eyes. I don't know how important it is. It's worth taking a personal step. Chu is at the corner of the lips. Pick up a perfect, but a smile without warmth. Classmate Chen, I was concerned about your financial report yesterday. Very interested. I wonder if I can appreciate it. A summary of the student union office. You'll have the same perfect fake smile. The hospitality is hard to leave. Under the baptism of countless eyes intertwined with various emotions. You follow Chu Yu into the student union tower that symbolizes the core of power in the college. The luxury and coercion here. It's no different than when you took charge 3 years ago. But there is a faint hint of unfamiliar cold air. Classmate Chen. I don't like wasting time beating around the bush. You should be very clear. What does your report mean to Chu Yu's multi-year core project? Chu Yu stood in front of the huge floor-to-ceiling window. With his back to Chen Guang, he turned around. I want you to fully guarantee the contents of this report. Ensure the smooth progress of the Chu family's projects. He paused. I can promise you a condition. That's the deal. It's also his confidence in taking control of the situation. Chairman Chu's promise. Sounds really expensive. Comparable to the Chu family's effort. What about a huge plan that is sure to win? Chu Yu's eyebrows were struck by an undetectable mistake. Lion opens his mouth wide. He sneered in his heart, thinking about the price you might offer, and plans to use extraordinary measures if necessary. But you changed the subject. The corners of his mouth slowly curved into a thrilling arc. This secret. I can indeed keep it secret for you. Chu Yu's eyes are awe-inspiring. What do you want? You lean forward slightly. Smile with no concealment. Banter and aggression. I want to make a bet with you. Just bet that you will be ranked first in the grade in the monthly exam next month. You admire Chu Yu's eyes. A flash of Wei Lan. Continue to throw heavier horses. Bet. If you lose, give me the position of student council president. Also, you, be my companion. Unquenchable disgust, with profound ridicule, like poison ivy, instantly filled Chu Yu's heart. It turned out that it was going around in circles. Still for this. The dangers of those so-called returning talents. Ultimate goal. It's still the same saying. And that dirty wishful thinking. Target Chu Yu. Favorability value, rich 50. The smile on your face has not changed at all. Eyes like the most discerning buyer. With pure appreciation of the goods. Magnanimous, leisurely. Chu Yu again. Measure it from head to toe. Chu Yu clearly felt your movements. That's not admiration. Not obsessed. It's a pure and cold atomization. One sees it as a bargaining chip. Viewed as a trophy. The horror of the death of the Dark Palace forces. Just a silent exchange of glances between the two. Collision in air. Create invisible sparks. 2 feet. Chu Yu finally spoke slowly, with a biting chill. Okay, she agreed. But this does not mean that she is willing to sell herself for profit. Her promise. It comes from the absolute confidence in her bones that crushes everything. You can't win. Even if your talent suddenly awakens. The gap that has fallen over the past 3 years. It is definitely not something that can be crossed in just half a month. The pinnacle of your knowledge is in his eyes. It's just a stone monument on the road. As for those who speculate that you have been convinced for 3 years, he doesn't care. In the past 3 years, you have not only ruined your own fertility, it is also a crucial upward path for the entire Chen family. Such a heavy price, just for a win. Ridiculous. Chuobo, you lost. Chu Yuyu's voice carried a cold tone of judgment. The smoky purple eyes are like the lips of an eagle locking onto its prey. It seems like you have already met the end. Raise a small smile. With a burning kettle of fish learning skills. It will not be treated as if this report never existed. The Chu family's merger and acquisition plan is absolutely unkind. And permanently withdraw from Morris College. No more taking half a step into the inheritance sequence of the 8 major chaebols. The shadow under Chu Yuyu's body and head completely enveloped you. I want you to kneel down at Mary's College, under the school motto monument in the central square, in front of the whole school teachers and students. I personally admit that you have been stupid and despicable for the past 3 years, and disgusting wishful thinking about me. Then get out of Morris forever. Get out of State A. In this life, I can't take even half a step. There is no fear in your eyes. The pale cheeks turned a sickly blush from extreme excitement. An invisible contract is reached between 2 people. What is on the gambling table is supreme power, family future, personal freedom, and a cold and humiliating trophy. You seem very excited. According to my analysis, you probably don't have enough treasure to defeat him. That's interesting, isn't it? I don't like boring bets. 15 hours and 43 minutes. Accompanied by more severe pain during systemic sexual intercourse. Morris College Dongyi Concert Hall. Chunianchu. The most difficult thing to figure out among the target objects. A pure artist who completely sacrifices his soul to musical notes. I said, this is not the place you should come. Every word is soaked with the meaning of exhaustion and torso. You seem to have never heard of it. Looking past the piano cover, fell on a few yellow pages scattered above. The dense notes on it, disfigured beyond recognition. Various modification symbols strike through. Angry strokes. The scratches are messily crowded together. Like in a mire of despair. Crazy struggling twisted soul. Section 47. Resolve a major 7th chord to a minor 7th. You changed it 17 times. Used to increase 6 and subtract 7. Even tried the diatonic scale. But still not satisfied. Tell me what you want to express. Your hand gently touches her shoulder. Sounds like a mythical siren. Charming. Target person Shunyanchu. Mood swing value 35. Shunyanka's voice came out from between his teeth, with trembling on the verge of the limit. At this moment, she was pinching her knees hard under her dress. The force is so strong that it feels like I want to use the severe pain of my body to suppress the turbulent waves surging deep in the soul. Not only did you not retreat, instead, he gently took half a step forward. Stretch out your fingertips and slowly trace the back of his cold and tight hand. Music doesn't lie. Shunyanchu asked me to guess. What is flowing in that melody? It's fear. Your voice is like a hammer. It's a violent woman. Your fingertips are slightly stronger. It's a disgust that goes deep into the bones. You said the last 3 words almost through his cold ear. Shunyanka's body trembled violently. He suddenly wanted to withdraw his hand. But you held my pulse firmly. She denies hoarsely in a broken voice. But more like desperate Amy. You hate this piano. Hate these damn notes. Hate in other people's eyes. That radiant musical genius. Shunyanchu. Your eyes penetrated her trembling shoulders and back. It's like it's just her soul. Reach out for the little girl huddled in the dark. Your voice suddenly became extremely clear. With a final cruelty. Your mother. The talented pianist known as a once-in-a-century genius. You got into music because of her. Because he wears the crown of the son of genius. but because he hates all the shackles and shadows brought by the piano. So, you can never finish it. Your eyes fall back to the pile of remains of sheet music scattered on the expensive piano. The voice is mocking. This is a requiem for his soul. Target person Shunyanchu. Peak mood swings. 85. Mission accomplished. The intersection of Shunyanka's painful screams and the cold mechanical sound. Sure enough, pain is also a mood swing. That was his only remaining attempt to comfort the Queen Mother. Also trying to redeem myself as the last straw. Ruthlessly torn into pieces flying all over the sky. Time seems to have completely frozen at this moment. Dead silence. Shunyanchu opened his mouth. No sound can come out of my throat anymore. Her eyes are locked on the last scrap of paper at your fingertips. Just the last pillar of her crumbling world. Collapse. Your voice is cold. Now do you wish you could tear me into pieces? Buried with your music score. Sia's syllables were squeezed out from Shunyanka's clenched fingers. Every syllable hides the angry voice of Bing Ling. It's the last restraint before going crazy. One step further. She will definitely drag the man in front of her to death with her. You walked around Shunyanka's body that was as solid as stone. Walking towards the silent old Steinway under the spotlight. The cover of the piano is smoothly opened by you. Movements as graceful as the unveiling cloth. Shunyanchu swooped over. The target is your fragile throat. The moment her fingertips are about to touch you, your fingertips fell. Ding. A single tone. Pure as the first spring of melted snow-capped mountains. With incredible penetrating power, it instantly stabbed the concert hall. Jin Yinchu seemed to have hit an invisible wall of sound. An embarrassing half-step. Knees hit the cold marble floor hard. He locked his back in front of the piano in horror. The rage in his eyes was replaced by a deeper and more dazed horror. Notes flowing. Deep and slow. Soaked in unspeakable sorrow. The case is unclear. Chen Feng's memories surged out. When he was 9 years old, the only piano final I lost in my life. The high fever made his throat burn with every breath he took. The world twists and turns. Only the boundless fear and coldness caused by failure remain. He played 3 wrong notes. It's all this damn disease. It's all because he's so weak. How will I be disappointed? The one who combined all ambitions and unimagined dreams. The woman on his shoulders. Then the footsteps were very light. With hesitation. Then there was a subtle clicking sound as the piano cover was carefully lifted. And then there's this melody. He is like a clumsy but extremely gentle hand, trying to soothe his fears and ailments. He was confused by the loud noise, not even sure who's playing. I only remember the long-lost sense of shelter brought by that melody. Later she tried numerous times to capture her silhouette on the keys, but always in vain. But now she flows out from your fingertips so clearly, traveling through the long, cold time. Pierced her heart with precision. Your voice is like a cold announcement. This melody was written by your mother before that bet. As long as she can remember. Mother is the most dazzling star in the mainland. Until she was 7 years old. She lost a huge bet that put her out of the art world forever. From then on he became cold and crazy. All ambitions and unfinished dreams turned into heavy shackles, pressing on his young shoulders. Day after day, year after year, the keys became a torture instrument. Talent becomes a curse. He became a tool to fulfill his ambition. So he also loved the real one. Will fail. Will get sick. He will be afraid. Rather than just a cold container of eternal talent. Shunyanchu's hot tears. Out of nowhere. Big knock, smash down. Target person Shunyanchu. Mood swing peak 97. The last note lingers in the dome. Dissipate into deathly silence. We all walk towards the heavy carved wooden door. Wait. Shunyanka's hoarse voice sounded like a sweltering heat wave from behind. You didn't look back. No fluctuation in tone. But with an unquestionable order. I wish you could let me hear your true requiem. Mission accomplished well. Thanks for the compliment. There is not much smile in his eyes. This feeling of being pinched at the throat. Really unpleasant. As a reward you can ask me for one thing. For example, help you cheat in the monthly exam. There is no fluctuation in the mechanical camp. But the mockery between the self-care lines. But it penetrates your perception accurately. Thank you, no need. Deep in your eyes. It's your indifferent self-confidence that defeats everything. But there's something I really need your help with. Help me erase the scar on my wrist. That scar has been baptized by precious medicinal materials, has gradually faded, like a simulated thorns tattoo. Love words. I'm going to erase those clowns bit by bit. The mark left on me. I hope you won't regret this choice. A warm feeling comes from my wrist. The tattoo of thorns slowly dissipates. Thank you. Student Union Office. Chu Yu sat behind the large desk, fingertips unconsciously clasping the smooth mirror-like tabletop. The line's faint but regular beeping sound, revealing that she is far from as calm as she appears. You want to show me Jian Chunfan's disciplinary records? By Ningbing standing not far from the desk, the action of putting the file is extremely difficult to trace. Disciplinary records. By Ningbing's voice contained a hint of coldness and exploration that was hard to detect. Her great achievements in the past 3 years. You don't know best. When did you become so interested in her? Chu Yu caught the other party's tone. It seems to be displeasure at the order itself. Starting from this, I would like to ask you, when did you react so strongly to her affairs? I'm just curious. A waste of class, said who is about to be expelled. What's the value? Worth your precious time. Go look through those meaningless junk files. Chu Yu met by Ningbing's cold and wet gaze. There is a turbulent undercurrent deep in the smoky purple eyes. Maybe because the way she makes me feel has changed. Changed? Even Chu Yu, a person who is always calm, said you have changed. Bai Ningbing's eyes fell back on Chu Yu's perfect face again, trying to decipher more information from that subtle expression, but found nothing. Janjia's red top-of-the-line sports car is parked in the center of the courtyard of the main house. You lean against the car door. Fingertips gently grope the wrist that had just wiped away the old shame. In front of the huge floor-to-ceiling window in the study room on the second floor. A tall and slender figure. Like a cold and lonely silhouette, I experience it there. Chen Huang's eyes were firmly locked on the figure in the center of the courtyard. You raise your eyes, penetrating the dusk. Eye to eye. Raise your right hand lazily. Index and middle fingers together. Facing the figure behind the window on the second floor. Fire an invisible bullet. Actions with an arrogance that is unparalleled. Then you stop looking at that window. Turn around and walk towards the main door of the main house. Almost the same time you step through the door. The sound of high-heeled footsteps on the spiral staircase. Chen Huangjian was walking down the stairs in circles. Dismissal time from Morris College. 4 hours and 28 minutes have passed. He slightly raised his left wrist. I took a look at the chronograph. You arrived 3.5 hours ago at the latest. What did you do? You tilted your head slightly, the mocking arc at the corners of your lips deepened, and your eyes swept across Chen Huang's tight jawline wantonly. And tight neck lips. When does it start? I need to report my itinerary in detail to you, the Zandai. Chen Huang, responsibility lies. The texture of these 4 words has a sound, for example, to prevent you from caring about some unworthy private matters. People get entangled and do stupid things. Personal entanglement. Folly. You repeated Chen Huang's words. Indeed, for those stupid things they do. This kind of evaluation can be considered gentle. You didn't stop. Just the moment I passed by Chen Huang, glanced at him extremely coldly. You can rest assured, there is no emotion in your voice. I just went to the cemetery to see my old friend. The moment you passed by, deep in the amber eyes, fluctuated extremely slightly. Cemetery. Old friend. In the study room, you are rarely a little serious in your pursuit of love. Today I made a bet with Chu Yu. The next monthly exam will be in half a month. Have you looked at his results in the past 3 years? Almost full marks in all classes. Mathematics, physics, chemistry, biology. Those cold logical symbols. And the laws of nature are firmly engraved in one's memory. Official fish species on 4 continents. I had already integrated into the world before I was 15 years old. Humanities, history and artistic literacy. The foundation had already been solidified before he was 18 years old. Even if 3 years are lost, the skeleton of these fields remains indestructible. I just need to copy the family letter as a gift. Enough to cope with this exam. Only 2 courses. Politics. Loris College Politics exam paper. Never a scripted dogma. The test is about changes in the current situation. Before I was dragged into the void. Continent 4 points. 8 major chaebols take power in Lishu. It is the undisputed economic and military hegemon in terms of area. Liz Hu. The ancient royal family has existed for 200 years. The upstart forces 3 years ago. It has sprung up like mushrooms after a rain and is ready to take action. Now is the return of the royal family. Still heartbroken and crowned. I don't know at all. States C and D are the weakest. Forge alliances for self-preservation. In the 3rd year, the alliance became even closer. Or are they already the upstarts from State A or State B? Tearing apart in darkness. Missing critical information. Like walking blindfolded on the edge of a cliff. Financial investments are equally deadly. 3 years is enough for the huge amount once to collapse. Let the unknown climb to the top. Companies that have risen in their absence. Become a new pillar or hidden danger. Which old chaebols have internal undercurrents. On the verge of falling apart. 2 weeks. I need to do it in just 14 days. Complementing the earth-shaking changes in mainland China's political and financial landscape in the past 3 years. Time is the most precious thing you have at the moment. You didn't go to my music literacy class. Instead, I collected information in recent years in the Chen family study room. For yourself, every minute and second that passes cannot be wasted. You have just stepped into the heavy carved arch of the central courtyard. A figure accurately blocks your way. He is the officer of the fan supervision department. The silver badge on his chest reflected cold light in the sun. He held a thin piece of paper in his hand. His expression was businesslike and rigid. There is a trace of unnoticeable tension hidden deep in his eyes. Classmate Chen Fan. Your accumulated absences from school have reached 50 periods. This is the withdrawal notice personally signed by Minister Bai. Please sign for it. The air seemed to be stagnant for a moment. Drop out of school. Repeat in a soft voice. That smile instantly shattered the calmness that the officer had tried so hard to maintain. The roots of his ears turned super red uncontrollably. Avoid your direct gaze. The minister asks you. Go to his office immediately for follow-up procedures. Your fingertips gently pinched the neck. The smile is deeper. Suishue. By Ningbing. This is how you start. Interesting. So much for the clever ways to exploit loopholes in rules. Show me how you please a prey who hates you so much. The second phase of the mission starts. Make the target character by Ningbing's favorability reach 30. Mission achievement. 72 hours. Office clerk of the Minister of Supervision. Stopped in front of the door and knocked. Enter. Bai Ningbing sits behind a large desk. He was still wearing his spotless white uniform. The injustice badge representing the Ministry of Supervision glowed coldly on his chest. See, it's you. The expression on his face didn't change at all. Still looking businesslike and businesslike. This doesn't mean that the favorability level is as high as 80. Mr. Chen, please sit down. The procedure requires your confirmation and signature. You didn't sit down immediately. Instead, he held the withdrawal notice. Place it gently on the smooth table. Push it in front of him. It's just an undercurrent under the banner. Minister Bai. There is no emotion in your voice. This gift is a bit sudden. Bai Ningbing's eyes fell on the notice. College rules. 50 mining lessons. Trigger automatic withdrawal mechanism. He is calm. As if stating an objective fact. I'm just the enforcer of the rules. Classmate Chen. Sign it. Subsequent file sealing and school leaving procedures. I will handle it myself. He made an affectionate gesture. Point to the lower right corner of the notice and take out the empty door. Rules? It's just used to restrain those. Just the left link of an ant with no right to speak. There was a mocking arc at the corner of your mouth. You picked up his left hand. That cup of coffee that has always been sultry and hot. The posture has an almost deliberate ambiguity. He took a sip of the dark brown liquid. Fallen coffee beans. You suddenly spoke. The voice is still gentle. Serve with 1 milliliter of maple syrup. Touching your feet evokes a hint of confusion that is so cold that it is timely. Didn't you say it yourself? Do you hate this smell the most? How do you know? Bai Ningbing's calm mask instantly shattered. The palms are like iron pincers. He grabbed your wrist violently. His calm and solemn face. The first time I was distorted by violent emotions. Anger, fear. All kinds of emotions are wildly intertwined in her eyes. And in the deepest part of this chaotic whirlpool, there is also a kind of forcibly suppressed, more intense emotions. What are you doing? Let go. The door at the back of the office. I don't know when it was pushed away. Chu Yu glanced at the messy floor. Bai Ningbing's twisted expression. Hold your hand with her. Finally, it was fixed on Bai Ningbing's face. In the bottomless smoky purple eyes. A cold warning surges. You. Bai Ningbing turned her head suddenly. Frown. I hold your hand but subconsciously tighten it. What are you doing? Chu Yu did not answer his question. Just walked in. The light fell calmly on Bai Ningbing's grasping hand. Don't fire him just yet. Bai Ningbing's pupils suddenly shrank. He took a deep breath. Eyes as sharp as a knife. Are you trying to interfere in the work of the supervision department for him? The corners of Chu Yu's lips slowly raised a very shallow and cold confusion. Sorry. I have to do it. Chu Yu's voice was soaked with unquestionable meaning. Two clear and calm knocks on the door suddenly sounded in the tense and dead office. Why is it so lively here? Chu Nianchu stood by the door with an elegant and leisurely posture, as if just passing by. Chu Nianchu. Bai Ningbing frowned even more tightly. The voice was filled with extreme impatience and a hint of vigilance at being disturbed. What are you doing at the supervision department again? He is like a trapped animal under siege at this moment. Any disturbance makes him more anxious. Xu Nianka's eyes finally fell on Bai Ningbing's wrist that he was holding onto. The corners of his lips curved into an almost innocent and gentle confusion. Me. His gaze swept over you vaguely. I'm here to ask you to be alone. It seems that Minister Bai. Your voice is full of knowing mockery. I am indeed not an ant who can be easily bound by your set of rules. The moment when the overbearing voice falls, Bai Ningbing only felt an irresistible feeling of luck coming from him. The 5 fingers that were clenched were suddenly released by force. You lightly shook your wrist casually. It's like it's just a little bit of dust floating on. Thank you both. There's a sense of control in your voice. Almost like charity. Say it. Don't drive anyone else. Turn around and disappear out the door. Only a life of chaos and 3 women with different thoughts are left behind. I need an explanation. Bai Ningbing rubbed Jin Suo's eyebrows tiredly. In addition, there is a complex light that is difficult to detect in the depths of the eyes. Thin lips twilight. You will know everything in half a month. Sorry. This matter is related to the core secrets of the Chu family. I can't explain it to you right now. Chu family. Bai Ningbing seemed to be chewing the weight behind these 2 words. Her eyes turned to the doorframe, as if staying out of it. But Xu Nianchu is everywhere. Eyes become as sharp as knives. What about you, Xu Nianchu? Don't tell me. How is she different from your Xu family? Dark secrets. It's also related. No? Xu Nianka's face. Still wearing that pair. A gentle and almost perfect mask. It has nothing to do with the Xu family. Deep in her eyes, there was a trace of elusive exploration and persistence. Just answers to some questions. We still need to understand clearly from her. That song only exists with her in the memory of her high fever and coma. Unreleased tracks belonging to the Queen Mother, an 8-year-old child at the time. It's impossible to know. This doubt is like a poisonous sting, deep into her heart. Bai Ningbing waved her hand tiredly. The voice is full of tiredness and lingering rebellion. Go out. You all go out first. Leave me alone. Before Chiyu and the 2 left, he looked deeply at Bai Ningbing. Those eyes are complicated and difficult to understand. Bai Ningbing's eyes are painful, sitting slumped in a large leather coat. She's right. Malachi coffee. Coffee. Is he back? Still. Those disgusting idiots taking over his body. To deal with him. Carefully researched their past. Even imitating his habits. Another trap set. Target person Bai Ningbing. Favorability fluctuates wildly between -80 and -87. You don't seem surprised at all. The system's voice carries a hint of inquiry. Why surprise? Well done. Does the sound of the system have a hint of what could be called a cold connotation of appreciation? Just 2 days. Can actually make Chu Yu and Xu Nianchu. Both targets speak for you. Make an exception for you. This ability to please pray. It's beyond my expectation. When your figure appears at the door of the classroom. The originally noisy classroom. It was as if the mute button had been pressed for an instant. Countless curious eyes. Explore. Fear. Focus on you. You turn a blind eye. Still walking towards your seat by the window. Lying quietly on the table. A pure white plot. The city invites Mr. Chen Fan. A wonderful birthday dinner for Master Du Ziteng. Time, 7 p.m. on June 5th. Location Du's manor. Du Ziteng's birthday party. Heir to the Du family. Minister of Student Union. One in the inheritance sequence of the 8 major chaebols. A person famous for his 8-for-seat personality. In the past 3 years, it seems that the time travelers have never really come to terms with this young master. What notable intersections have occurred? The Gu family and the Chen family are facing each other openly. It also maintains just the right distance. Well, water does not offend river water. This unexpected invitation. It's when you smell the change in the wind direction. Or a careful planning. The Hongmen banquet is waiting for you. No matter what. This chess game seems to be getting more and more interesting. Second year undergraduate class S. Ziteng, are you crazy? You actually sent an invitation to that Chen fan. Miyazaki's voice was filled with harsh disdain. Aren't you afraid that he will chase Yu Ruyan and the others again at your carefully prepared birthday party? Turn the whole place into a pot of mud. Lu Ziteng stopped what he was doing. It's cool, don't say that. There have been some rumors about him in the college these past 2 days, and they seem to be different. Maybe we can become friends. After all, he is also the heir to one of the 8 great families. I don't know you yet. I will never let go of anyone who might be useful. But as far as I know, he has been kicked out of the Chen family's inheritance training. The new heir has taken his place in the family. The smile on Lussen's face did not change at all. There was an unquestionable certainty in his voice. Archie, just an invitation. You have to see it with your own eyes before you can make a conclusion. Well, just wait and see. Morris College Library. I only saw the wool of China turned yellow. The cold numbers and decision-making logic above outline the trajectory of the undercurrent of power. Many ancient top-secret files and political reports that are not allowed to be retained electronically. They all sleep quietly here. What do you think about these 3 years? Some involving key energy policy changes. Internal evaluation report is of great interest. Return the books to the far guard. Already left this place silently. A quiet place filled with historical dust. Morris College Gate. At this moment, many students gathered after school. The focus is on a car with smooth lines. Limited edition silver supercar. Yu Ruyan put one hand casually on the steering wheel. The other hand was crying. The green-haired boy desperately changed hands. Sister Liu. What did I do wrong? I change. I'm willing to change anything. Don't break up, okay? Let go. The impatience between Yu Ruyan's eyebrows. Almost overflowing. The young man was stung by the cold tone. But then it seemed like I was caught. The last life-saving straw. Sister Liu. You said yesterday that you liked me best. Have you forgotten? There was no warmth in Yu Ruyan's eyes. Just pure boredom. It's like looking at something. Expired toys that have lost their appeal. Tired of it now. She stated it as a matter of course. Give you 3 seconds. Let go. As if to say that the weather is nice today. The onlookers were whispering with a hint of numbness. Yu Ruyan is one of several high-ranking ladies in the student union. One of the most accessible. As long as you are handsome enough, she usually welcomes anyone who comes. However, the shelf life of her interest is pitifully short. Rarely more than a week. Sadly, there are always some people who naively think that they will be that unique and special being. In the end, it's just a laughing stock. The cold countdown is like a death knell. Huge fear and embarrassment overwhelmed the young man. She suddenly let go of her hand. Watching the silver sports car is like a sword leaving the string. Instantly turned into a dazzling stream of light. The crowd of onlookers let out several unexplained sighs. Gradually disperse. You stand in the shadow of the wolf not far away. Arms around. These 3 years, they used their own skins. I also made myself like this boy. Become the laughing stock in the middle of the crowd. Under Liu Ruyan's cold gaze. Throw away your armor and lose all your dignity. You look back calmly. As if just an insignificant grain of dust floats away. The loss of the past did not leave waves in the eyes. Only the coldness that settled down became more and more biting. The next 2 days, your figure completely disappeared from Morris College. You lock yourself in a single study room. With mountains of ancient books and files on the desk. Keep company with complex data streams scrolling on a light screen. Your absence has become the best breeding ground for gossip in the college. The school dropout crisis subsided so strangely. The Ministry of Supervision even acquiesces to the privileges you have. This in itself is the biggest anomaly. Speculations are rife. The most mainstream version is full of peachy whims. Someone swore that they witnessed the ambiguity between Minister Bai and you. I think this privilege was exchanged for some kind of ulterior deal. A more vicious statement is that the Chen family finally couldn't bear it anymore. Exiled this son who has disgraced the family to an obscure branch family. Just for your last face. I didn't officially let you drop out of school. The only clear fact is that at Morris College, the student union and its core members represent supreme rights. Therefore, regardless of whether this privilege comes from Bai Ningbing and Xu Mianchu, or Chu Youyu, no one dared to question it publicly. I only dare to foment jealousy and suspicion in private here. Night falls on June 5th. The Du family manor is brightly lit. Like a city that never sleeps. Top luxury cars that symbolize wealth and status. An endless stream of people drive through the gate of the manor. The Du family celebrates the new year among the 8 chaebols, ranked among the top 4. Tonight is not only Du Ziteng's birthday party. It is also a silent event to build momentum for inheritance rights. Mr. Chen, can you come? It really makes Korean friends. Instantly, the warm and deep emerald brilliance flows out. A priceless gemstone watch, lying quietly on the velvet dust mat. Lu Ziteng took the box. The eyes showed just the right amount of surprise and appreciation. Master Chen is really troublesome. So to my liking. Ziteng is very grateful for this generous gift. Just then there was a deafening sound. A few aggressive engine growls. Travel far away in silence. A purple-black racing car and a supercar, with an extremely arrogant flick, stopped steadily in the center of the courtyard, attracted everyone's attention. The car door lifts up. Liu Ruyan took the lead to step out. A perfectly tailored dark gown. It's hard to hide the rebelliousness in her bones. Then a handsome purple-haired guy got out of the car. He held Liu Ruyan's arm carefully. Liu Ruyan caught the sight. When Du Ziteng saw such a calm black figure next to him, the smile on her lips froze instantly. There was undisguised contempt and disgust in his eyes. It was difficult for her to hold her heart as if no one was around. Walking this way carelessly. Not loud, but it's enough for everyone around to hear clearly. Du Ziteng, the style of your birthday party is getting lower and lower. Why are all the rubbish put in there to disturb people? My eyesight is getting worse and worse. His gaze was like a cold blade scraping across Chen Fan, full of pen marks. Ziteng, Uncle is waiting for you over there. It seems there is something urgent. Miyazaki's voice inserted at the right time. With a sense of watching a good show, Du Ziteng still had a perfect smile on his face. He glanced at Chen Fan and Liu Ruyan apologetically. Liu Ruyan, today is my birthday. Don't embarrass my guests. Got it. Liu Ruyan responded impatiently. His eyes were firmly locked on you who is ready to turn around. She took a step forward. The voice is full of warning and inquiry. What the hell are you doing? Chu Youyu Xu Nianchu. When she said these 2 names, there was a hint of unbelievable sarcasm in his tone. How could he make those 2? The guy with his eyes above his head. All speak for you. However, not them. Put away those thoughts you shouldn't have. Otherwise, what I promised her was a complete death plan. You glanced at her calmly. The silence of God is more lethal than the meanest taunt. Then you turned around without hesitation. No pause from beginning to end. No response. Liu Ruyan is in the same place. His face instantly became extremely ugly. She felt like she was punching the cotton with a punch full of strength. Didn't even stir up a single ripple in the other party. This feeling of being completely ignored and showing weakness is unmistakable. This is the second time she feels. Because of the same man. The crowds of people around. There were whispers because of this scene. That loser chasing Sister Liu. He actually ignored her like that. Are the rumors somewhat credible? A white figure on the spiral staircase. Looking down at this scene quietly. The gentle smile on the corner of the mouth was replaced by a serious look, pretending to be pretty similar. It's just playing hard to get, right? In the voice of the boy next to him. Rarely brings someone confidence. That man's eyes are so cold. Even if it's just pretending, then his acting skills are already superb. Archie, let's watch next. Backyard poolside. Away from the hustle and bustle of the front hall. You're holding a glass of red wine from the fittest tray. Standing by the pool. Regular footsteps came from behind. Make a subtle rustling sound. The visitor seems to have deliberately slowed down his pace. Didn't look back. Just swallow that sip of red wine in the glass. My eyes still stay on the cold moon in the horizon. As if everything behind you has nothing to do with you. The night wind blows and brings a hint of kindness. It also brings a hint of familiarity. System prompt. Bai Ningbing's favorability increases by 30. Mission accomplished in 1 hour and 32 minutes. His voice sounded. It's no longer the Inspector General's disdainful tone of official business. On the contrary, there is a kind of intense depression, but still throw out horse temptation. The caution in that voice. It's like touching a 1-year-old treasure that has been gathering dust for a long time. You turn around slowly. Look at the person coming calmly. It's a coincidence that Bai doesn't grow long. Come out and breathe, too. There was a slight teasing in your tone. Bai Ningbing completely ignored your words. And took a step forward. The distance suddenly gets closer. I remember. His voice had an erratic feeling of reminiscing about the past. His eyes are as sharp as a knife. Lock your eyes tightly. At my 10th birthday party. Some people find it boring. Take me and sneak out from the hall where palaces and sorrows intersect. Run to the swing in the back garden to get some fresh air. He paused. Every word is like opening up a layer of old scars. Your fingers holding the wine glass. Unexpectedly, he curled up slightly. This movement is so subtle that it's almost imperceptible. But like a boulder thrown into a calm lake. It set off huge waves in Bai Ningbing's heart. It's you, right? Bai Ningbing's voice contained an almost roaring desire and determination that was suppressed to the extreme. Body groans excitedly and slightly clear. It's you who's back. The real you. Minister Bai. Your voice is deliberately cold. Are you drunk? What nonsense are you talking about? You try to build a high wall with indifference. Block out his turbulent emotions. Nonsense? Bai Ningbing's laughter is full of self-mockery. Pain and a desperate madness. He stretched out his hand suddenly. Movement is amazingly fast. I snatched the glass of red wine from your hand. Drink the remaining wine in the glass in one gulp. Dark red liquid. Touch a little along the corner of his lips. Instantaneous effect of alcohol quickly appeared on his pale face. The way he stares at you burns with an almost devastating light of determination, pulling out a smile that smelled of alcohol and bitterness. I'm really drunk now. The words have not yet fallen. He no longer looks at you. The footsteps began to retreat step by step. 1 step, 2 steps. Behind him is the sparkling swimming pool. Bai Ningbing. Your pupils suddenly shrink. For the first time, the voice carried an urgent warning. I've had enough. Bai Ningbing's eyes were filled with pain that was too thick to be resolved, and a kind of despair like a moth flying into a flame. Enough of looking at a monster wearing your shell. Swaggering through the market, with a martyr's determination, he suddenly said backwards. Ordinary. Huge water splash exploded instantly. The bitingly cold water swallowed up the white figure in an instant. System prompt. The target person Bai Ningbing's mood fluctuated violently. System prompt. Warning. Numerical anomaly. You stand by the pool. Reason tells you that Bai Ningbing did it on purpose. He is forcing you with his life. System cold warning. Mental toughness meditation. The movement beneath the water's surface is diminishing. Damn it. The next second, bigger water splashes. The biting cold went straight to the top of my head. You hold your breath. Eyes wide open. Swim hard towards the silent white water. Bai Ningbing closed her eyes. It seems like all life has been lost. Slowly sinking to the deeper bottom of the pool. Alcohol and cold wet water. It seemed like her strength was taken away instantly. You suddenly speed up and reach out your hand, desperately grabbing her arm. Take her as hard as you can to float upwards. Wow. 2 figures emerged from the water in embarrassment. Bai Ningbing, who is alone in your arms. Shoot the gun violently. With the confusion after drowning. And physiological tears. I rocked back unconsciously. The left side near the collarbone is exposed. The rain light clearly reflected a shallow crescent-shaped old scar through the water drops. Your eyes are fixed on that scar. Bai Ningbing seems to have felt your gaze too. The sound was so weak that it was almost drowned out by the sound of water. I won the bet. You looked at Bai Ningbing's wet body. That face that always wears a gentle mask. At this moment, it is as pale as paper and dissatisfied with water drops. Only those red eyes are locked on you. Inside is the ecstasy of regaining something. And a humble balloon that almost burns you. This is the second time you saved her. Memories surge uncontrollably. The brightly lit banquet hall of the Bai family 10 years ago. An elaborate birthday party for her. But just with a look from you, she didn't hesitate to ignore her father's warning gaze. But you sneaked out of that boring hall, hiding in the quiet back garden. That short period of time to breathe paid a heavy price. The head of the Bai family was furious afterwards. He was escorted into a dark and cold ancestral hall. I was punished by kneeling for 24 hours. When you get the news, for the first time, a strange emotion called guilt surged in my heart. You ran to Bai's house to see her. What I saw was her coming out of the ancestral hall with a bright voice, scary pale eyes. As she walked across the courtyard to her room, floating underfoot, Jing fell into the cold swimming pool. There were only a few bubbles on the water surface. He quickly regained his composure, as if nothing happened. You jumped in without any hesitation. When you slid hard, finally caught her sinking body. She had no reaction, eyes closed, like a doll that has lost its soul. Under scheming, you opened your mouth and bit her hard on the chest near the collarbone. That deep bite mark has been imprinted on her skin ever since. Bai Ningbing's favorability score is 85. Mission accomplished. Mechanical sounds. With a hint of unexpected calm. When she was a girl, Bai Ningbing always followed that dazzling figure silently. The way you move is enough to attract everyone's attention. Falling in love with you seems to be something that cannot be done again. She lost her life, but she never said it. I just feel like I can look at it from a distance like this. Already the person with the greatest destiny. Until 3 years ago, after a sudden high fever in front of you, everything changed. When you woke up, the look in his eyes was strange. Heart palpitations, those eyes were covered with something deliberate and sweet, with naked temptation. At that moment, Bai Ningbing's heart. His heart seemed to be gripped by something, and then he felt the ecstasy of annihilation. He thought that until that night. You stumbled to find him, the strong smell of alcohol instantly filled the air, your eyes were blurred, and there was an abnormal look on your face. She was flushed, and the moment she saw Bai Ningbing, she threw herself into his arms. Ningbing, I feel so uncomfortable. Only you can help me. I love you, I always love you, you know. Bai Ningbing's mind went blank. The huge happiness and desire instantly overwhelmed her like a tsunami. She will be where she is, the blood seems to be flowing backwards. All the senses are concentrated on the warm body in my arms. And the kiss that is about to fall. However, just at the critical moment when his lips were about to touch hers, a strong smell of cheap and pungent perfume broke her ecstasy. You hate this pungent smell the most. From the corner of her eye, she clearly captured. The hand you originally held around his back is habitually reaching towards the forehead, but the real you is thinking nervously. Or when you have mood swings, small unconscious movements. I always rub my cheeks. This look in front of me is blurry. Artificial movements. A man with a strange smell. Not you. He tried his best. He violently pushed you away from his arms. A big one. Make you scream. A few steps in embarrassment, falling heavily onto the cold floor. Since then, Bai Ningbing became the calmest, and the coldest bystander. He puts on mask, step by step, taking the position of Minister of Supervision. He looked on coldly at the imposter who took over your body. A greedy and fake smile, like flies chasing after decay, surrounding Chu Yu and Liu Ruyan. The beginning of many years is spinning, watching you put down the pride of the Chen family heir again and again. But those women did all kinds of despicable things in front of them. Evil behavior. Watch you slowly become the entire upper class. The biggest laughing stock after dinner. Ben Yi grows crazily in the day after day. He hates this monster. He uses the most stringent rules to regulate you. Link eye you with the coldest gaze. Use the full strength of the supervision department to restrain you. But he didn't actually kick you out of Morris College. Because he is waiting. He is waiting for the real you to come back. Now he has waited. Someone is coming. Someone fell into the water. Huge movement by the pool. Eventually it caused a commotion. Screams pierced the tranquility of the backyard. Instantly detonated the crowd. The sound of footsteps. Travel far and near. Quickly convert this secluded corner. Surrounded by water. When you're dragging and soaking wet. Bai Ningbing almost broke away. When climbing up to the edge of the pool with difficulty. What comes into view are countless pairs of people who are either horrified or curious. More eyes with unabashed disdain. Bai Ningbing violently rushed to the inn, face as pale as paper. So weak that I can barely stand. And when everyone sees the face of the person who fell into the water clearly, an unspoken understanding suddenly filled the air. Thank you, for languages are as private as a poisonous snake. It's him again. Really stubborn. The lesson learned from being thrown directly into the fountain pool by Sister Liu last time was not enough. This time, I actually got entangled with Minister Bai. Being fucked like this by licking the dog's feet. Glances. Like a poisonous needle. Intensely stuck on your body. Bai Ningbing just barely recovered from drowning. I heard these overwhelming slanders. He struggled to straighten his body. Pale lips move. Just yell at me. A cold but extremely strong hand pressed on his soaked wrist. You didn't even look at him. Just pressed it slightly hard. Your eyes sweep across your eyes calmly. Faces full of malice. There was no trace of humiliation or panic in his eyes. There is only a bone-wrenching indifference. It seems like there is noisy in front of you. Just a swarm of ants. Convenient. Like these people. The corner of your mouth curled up with a trace of confusion. I prefer to use absolute strength. Trample these people's faces under your feet. Just then, a suit gently falls on your cold and wet shoulders. Master Chen, are you okay? Woziting didn't know when he had walked through the crowd and walked over. With just the right amount of concern on his face. There is no chance that the birthday will be disrupted at all. Angry. The waiting maid stepped forward. Didn't refuse. He tightened his suit on his shoulders. Slightly sweaty hands. Thank you, Mr. Du. Under the gaze of countless eyes, Lu Ziteng. Like protecting an important guest. Leading you away from this mess and noise. Master Du is still kind. Not only not angry. Come to help him out. Indeed. Comparing the two. It's like the sky and the earth. The chatter behind me. After Du Ziteng appeared. Not only did it not subside. On the contrary, because of his generous and tolerant behavior. It further confirms your crime. Discuss more unscrupulously. Bai Ningbing listened to the unpleasant comments around him. His face was so gloomy that water dripped from his face. A luxuriously furnished room on the second floor. But there is a deserted atmosphere in the guest room. Mr. Chen, please wait a moment. Lu Ziteng said meekly. Turn around and walk to the cloakroom. I just received this not long ago. New styles that I haven't had time to wear yet. The size should fit. Lu Ziteng put the suit on the soft big bed. Impeccable smile. Change of wet clothes. You'll have someone take it to dry. Working. Lu Ziteng withdrew thoughtfully. Closed the door gently. In the shadows of the corridor, Miyazaki immediately greeted him. With undisguised disgust and confusion on his face. Ziteng, why are you so nice to him? Look what's going on outside. He must be stalking Bai Ningbing. Forced people to jump into the pool. Miyazaki lowered his voice. Speaking fast and urgently. The cloth on the face. That playful and gentle smile faded a bit. He shook his head slightly. The voice is very low. With unquestionable certainty. Archie, things are not that simple. I saw. See what? Miyazaki was stunned by Bai Ningbing's eyes. Bu Ziteng's gaze. Head towards the closed door of the guest room. It seemed to penetrate him again. The way he looked at him. Not disgust. Not the anger after being harassed. Is a crash. It's the ecstasy of finding something lost. And the pain and regret that go deep into my bones. He paused. Looking at Miyazaki, who looked shocked. Do you think? A man who was harassed to the point of falling into the water. Would that be the reaction? Miyazaki opened his mouth. Speechless. He recalled Bai Ningbing. You took me to the darkroom. That lost look. Indeed, it's nothing like. Attitude towards harassers. What the hell is going on? Lu Ziteng's eyes are deep. Put on that impeccable mask of gentleness again. Not sure. But this young master of the Chen family. It seems to have become really very interesting. Let's go. The party will continue. It's time for the main event. Change into that starry white high-top suit that is as deep as the night sky. Your appearance attracted attention again. But this time there was a bit more surprise and uncertainty in my eyes. Lu Ziteng stepped onto the stage at the right time. The spotlight is on him. Like a holy angel. Thank you for tonight's Li Minute. Celebrating the birthday of Quan Ziteng. A calm voice that lives up to expectations. I would like to take this opportunity to announce to everyone. I have officially transferred 30% of the shares of Jusha Group to Ziteng. Please take good care of Quan Zi in the future. There were suppressed exclamations and warm applause under the cancer. 30% of Jusha shares. This is not just a birthday gift. It was the Du family who announced to the entire state Du Ziteng has officially become the undisputed helmsman of the Du family in the future. The aura of power and wealth instantly deepened. Make Du Ziteng even more dazzling. Put a decent smile on your face. Then Du Fu's style changed. At the same time, the Du family and the Liu family also announced a happy event. Everyone's eyes instantly focused on the new male companion sitting directly below the stage. Liu Ruyan, who was absently playing with a lighter. It was decided after discussion between the two parties. The juniors have been in agreement for a long time. Choose a date to get engaged. Boom, this news is like a bombshell. It instantly detonated the entire banquet hall. Marriage, the powerful alliance between the Du family and the Liu family. However, the reactions of the two protagonists who were named are thought-provoking. Liu Ruyan just lazily raised his eyelids. His slender fingers were still fiddling with the purple gold lighter. Glancing at Du Ziteng on the stage. The corner of his mouth curved into a careless arc. It's a response. The male companion in his arms smiled and said something in his ear. Instead, he lowered his head and smiled with more interest. It's as if what was just announced was someone else's marriage. Du Ziteng stood on the stage. There is still that perfect gentle smile on her face. Nodding to the congratulatory crowd in the audience. The eyes are calm and calm. It seems that this marriage is enough to affect the structure of the two major chaebols. It has nothing to do with him. If people are surprised. But I also know it well. The marriage between the 8 major chaebols. This is the normal state of interest bundling. Feelings. That was never the primary consideration. After dinner discussion, more warm applause and congratulations sounded again. Submerged this weirdness that seems to be in harmony with the spirit. Mission objectives. Target person Liu Ruyan. Favorability increased by 20%. Mission achievement. 7 days. You look at Liu Ruyan, who is smiling openly. There is undisguised smoke of consciousness in those eyes. And a hint of cold hostility that comes from being forcibly assigned a task. Liu Ruyan raised her head sharply. Capture that cold sight that penetrates the hustle and bustle. It's her again. That damn look again. Her long and narrow mold narrowed dangerously. The cynical smile on his face froze instantly. The southern half shivered under the sudden chill. The voice was trembling. However, a white figure. Blocking in front of you faster. Isolated from Liu Ruyan's discerning eyes. Bai Ningbing's face still looked as pale as after falling into the water. But my eyesight has returned to clarity. Even translating the unresolved foolish anger. And an almost instinctive protective language. Liu Ruyan looked at the scene in front of her. Laughing in anger. She took a step forward. Close enough to smell it. The coldness of the pool water that has not dissipated from the opponent's body. His eyes wandered back and forth between the two of them. The corners of his mouth cracked into a malicious arc. Bai Ningbing. Her voice is not high. But it's enough for people around you to hear clearly. My brain was damaged by the pool water. You also protect this kind of thing. She paused deliberately. I sweep over you. It fell back on Bai Ningbing's face again. That naked humiliation. Is it true that it is just like the rumors? Both of you. The taste of Bai Chang is quite unique. Specializes in picking up trash that others don't want. Or have you forgotten his past virtues? Forgot how he looked like an animal in heat. Chasing different women. Every word tore open the gap in Bai Ningbin's heart. The scar that I just barely managed to confirm your identity. Bai Ningbin's eyes were filled with anger. Almost bursting out. Just when he was about to lose control. A hand gently placed on his shoulder. Push him away slightly. You step forward and are almost face to face with Liu Ruyan. You tilt your head slightly. There is no anger or shame in the eyes. Just a condescending mockery. It's like looking at a barking bee dog. Your voice is not loud. But it instantly overwhelmed all the whispers. The marriage drama was just announced. Are you planning to use this snarky face? Disrupting Du Shaoyi's birthday party? Like smoke. Put on the gentle voice of stomachache. Facts ring out. Like a clear spring flowing. But with a hint of chill that cannot be ignored. He still looked at the audience with a smile. His eyes are cold and devoid of any warmth. Focus on Liu Ruyan. Later. Her voice through the microphone. Spread clearly throughout the audience. Every word hits the heart. Please give me more advice. This sentence actually declares Lin Yin. It is also a warning and restraint for Liu Ruyan's out-of-control behavior at this moment. Liu Ruyan's movements suddenly stopped. Staring at you. Those eyes want to bring you to life. He gave Bai Ningbing another hard look. Finally, under the relentless pressure of stomachache, she almost regained her sanity under the pressure of the nanny. Confused, he turned around and walked towards Mrs. Li carelessly. She roughly held the hand stretched out by her stomachache. Stiff posture. Bai Ningbing's tight body. Then relax slightly. She immediately looks back at you. His eyes were full of fear and overwhelming worry. You are too impulsive. Her voice was very low, with an imperceptible tremor. Liu Ruyan is not an ordinary stubborn person. In the past 3 years, she has crawled out of the Liu family's mystery. How ruthless are the methods? You can't imagine it, she said quickly. The affair of the head of the Liu family is an open secret. I can count the illegitimate children on one hand. Liu Ruyan's mother. Just a powerless bartender. Back then, secretly. Warnings and restraints on out-of-control behavior. Liu Ruyan's movements suddenly stopped. Staring at you. Those eyes want to bring you to life. He gave Bai Ningbing another hard look. Finally, under the invisible pressure of stomachache, she almost regained her sanity under the pressure of the nanny. Turn around coldly. He walked towards Mrs. Li carelessly. She roughly held the hand stretched out by her stomachache. Stiff posture. Bai Ningbing's tight body. Then relax slightly. He immediately looked back at you. Eyes full of fear. And the inseparable worries. You are too impulsive. Liu Ruyan is not an ordinary stubborn person. These 3 years, she crawled out of the quagmire of the Liu family. How ruthless are the methods? You can't imagine it. He quickly resisted. The romance of the head of the Liu family is an open secret. I can count the illegitimate children on one hand. Liu Ruyan's mother. Just a powerless bartender. I gave birth secretly back then.